My name is Dr. Siobhan Forrester. I'm a dietitian and a nutrition expert, and you may have heard that you are what you eat, but more accurately, your body depends on the nutrients that you take in. The right ones, the right amount, and in the right balance. In this talk, we're going to go over the organization of your whole body, starting at the level of the cell, and how every cell is dependent on the nutrients that you take in. So let's talk about your whole body. It starts with an individual cell. We have lots of different cells in our body, and they all have specific functions. And each of those cells work together to form a tissue. We've got skin tissue, cardiac tissue, muscle tissue, we've got lymphatic tissue, many different types. But these tissues work together to form an organ. So in one organ, you actually have multiple different types of tissues. For example, in your stomach, you have muscle tissue, you have skin tissue, you have absorptive tissues, and you have secretions. You can secrete hydrochloric acid. Now, these different organs work together to form an organ system. So because we're talking nutrition, an example of an organ system would be your gastrointestinal tract. That includes your stomach, your liver, your pancreas, your small intestine, your large intestine. You've got many organ systems that work together to form who you are. But it's nice to go back and just look at the level of the cell. Because when we have healthy cells, we have healthy people. You have 37.2 trillion cells in your body, and each of those cells have very specific functions, and they're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They never get to stop, and they are dependent on the nutrients that you take in. More specifically, they are dependent on essential nutrients, and essential nutrients are nutrients that our body cannot make. We have to get them from our food. And so you're familiar with the 43 essential nutrients. These 43 essential nutrients have been categorized as vitamins, minerals, amino acids, essential fatty acids, and water. And so we're going to talk about all of the different categories and how they work in your body. So we'll start by talking about vitamins and minerals. And I like to talk about vitamins and minerals together because they have very similar functions in the body. They work with enzymes. Now, enzymes are actually proteins, and enzymes allow chemical reactions to happen. An enzyme itself has an active site, and some substrate will bind to that active site, and once they're together, it creates a product. The enzyme on its own isn't very fast, and it needs a lot of energy in order for that reaction to happen. Now, vitamins and minerals work with the enzyme so that reaction happens quickly. And that's really important in our body because if we touch something hot, we want to feel it right away. Or when we look at somebody, we want to see them right away. So a quick reaction is very important, and how vitamins and minerals are important when they act with enzymes in the body. So the next category is amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins, and you might have heard a lot about proteins. Proteins are a very popular topic, but what we really should be talking about is amino acids. There's 20 total amino acids, 12 of them are essential. That means that we have to get them from our diet. We cannot make them. These amino acids bind together as a peptide bond, and there can be thousands of amino acids in length to create a protein. And these proteins are used throughout our bodies. They're the structural component of every cell. They're used for your skeletal structure so you can stand up straight. They're really important for your immune system. Antibodies are made of protein. They're important to make enzymes. So when you eat your food, you want to be able to digest it, and enzymes are actually proteins. Another important function of protein is to carry nutrients throughout your body. An example of that is iron. So there's a transport protein called transferrin that grabs iron and brings it all around your body. And iron's really important to hold on to oxygen. It brings all the oxygen to your cells. So amino acids are essential for good health. The next category is essential fatty acids. That's omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. These fatty acids are really important for cell health in general. They're also important for nervous tissue development. And I like to talk about the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids and how they're incorporated into every cell in the body, how they're incorporated into the membrane of every cell. So your membrane of every cell has a water-loving head and fat-loving tails, and they're organized end to end. So the water-loving head's on the inside of the cell, and then the other water-loving head is on the outside of the cell. Now on the inside, you have those fatty acid tails. The more omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids you eat, the more are incorporated into those fatty acid tails. And this is a really good thing. That means that the more essential fatty acids you have incorporated into the cell membrane, the healthier your cell. And the healthier every cell functions, the healthier you feel. All right, the last category is water, an essential nutrient that's often forgotten, but it's ubiquitous in our body. It's inside of our cells, outside of our cells. It's a part of our plasma. It creates the tears in our eyes and the lubrication in our mouth so we can swallow food. It's the medium for all chemical reactions, so everything that we've talked about so far wouldn't happen if we didn't have water in our body. A healthy man and woman has about 50 to 60% of their body weight in water, and just 1% decrease will decrease metabolic activity. Water allows for life, so it is the universal solvent and should never be forgotten. So to put this whole talk together, getting the right nutrients is so important, because if you have the right nutrients, then your cells are healthy. And if you have healthy cells, you have healthy tissues. If you have healthy tissues, you have healthy organs. If you have healthy organs, you have healthy organ systems. And healthy organ systems working together make a happy, healthy you.